This points to everybody. It's loud.
We're live now.
Huh?
We're live now.
It's loud and clear. Yeah. But if the camera and the microphone are kind of invisible, it's better for us, really. We don't want to be so
we forget.
conscious. Okay, we're live, but we're explaining about the eyes of the camera. We don't want to sit in front of girders of metal.
The Zoom is not wider enough to get all.
Not after that feast yesterday.
Yeah, after the feast yesterday. But get a good chunk, and then anyway. Maybe that's something we can consider, getting a, you get different lenses for cameras so that they go wider.
Yeah, Ramananda has some good plan for that.
Paramananda. Ramananda.
He's hearing us.
He's our pujari today.
Yes.
Anyhow, yes, we don't want to be camera and microphone conscious. We're happy, everyone joins us. We're here in the temple, and it's actually a warm temple room. And I'm wearing a new merino. A merino woolen jumper under here. I'm actually cooking. It's a warm jumper. Okay, and then anyway, you missed most of the program because the real substance of the program, we've been hearing Gurudev, and now we've been talking about Gurudev. So, sorry you missed it. You know the address. It's Greville House.
Hazelmere Close.
Who's? Hazelmere Close.
TW14. 9. TW14.
TW?
Yes.
What does
Twickenham.
T stand for?
Twickenham.
Maybe Twickenham.
I didn't even know there was a TW. I knew there was West London, South East London, but there's a TW. Work that one out. TW14?
9PX.
9PX. Anyway, Heathrow Airport, Terminal 4, just walk over there. Ask somebody, where are the Hare Krishna? And by the way, so the first part of his talk about the adjustment of the word kirtan, Srila Gurudev was referring to this. And this is the diorama, which is right at the very front when you come in the proper entrance from the road into Chaitanya Saraswati Math. This is the first thing you see, straight in front of you. And this grill, you can just see the beginning of a grill door there. You can see straight through there and straight through the other end of the Nat Mandir, and then there the deities can see you from the road and when you enter. And this is the verse that he's talking about here. Matala Harijana Kirtana Range Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bangi in Bengali. And this says Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math is there. And this is us, this is you here. And worshipping Radha and Krishna holding up Govardhan Hill. And Chaitanya Saraswati Math on Govardhan Hill. And there are cows there. And one of my foolish questions to Gurudev, I tried not to ask any questions because they're mainly foolish, was, but Gurudev, there are cows on the hill. Weren't they all under the hill? Said, no, not all the cows were there, under the hill in time. This is Gurudev also adjusting.
Run
There are
fast
still cows eating grass on the hill. They couldn't all get under the hill at the same time. We had some happy conversations with Gurudev, many happy, just natural conversations. Anyway, this is what Srila Gurudev was referring to. And then, oh well, that's it. I mean, this is what was being discussed. But you can see our temple from a long way away. And in Mayapur, then also you can see our temple. And how I know that? Because, really, I didn't go to Mayapur very much. But then one day, one of the senior gurus, the sannyasi, disciples of Srila Saraswati Thakur, his car broke down when he's going back to his temple. And the brahmachari from the car assistant came to us, we're just nearby. And they came, and I was sitting with Gurudev, and the brahmachari came to Gurudev and said, oh, our guru's car is broken down nearby. Can you help us in some way? And Gurudev immediately said, yes, Mahananda, go take my car, and take him. So we drove with the brahmachari to the car, collected, and then we drove to Mayapur, which you think is nearby, because actually, if you go in a straight line by walking up and then you cross the Ganges, it's a straight line. If you go by car, you actually have to go a long way around. And anyway, we went there, and then we got there in the early evening. And then they're very kind, they give some sweets. Whenever you go, you've got to take sweets in Bengal, only thing. Sweets and water. And then it was their arati time. And I bowed out, I said, no, I'll go back, my service is there. So I didn't stay for or maybe I stayed for the opening of the curtains and obeisances and give out obeisances, but then I do my duty and then drive back to the temple. But before driving back, where the car is parked is not obviously in front of the temple, so it's a little down. So going back, I'm walking along that, what was one road only, going from the Ghat, where the boat, the join of the Saraswati and the Ganga, the Bhagirathi, then from that one place, there was one road only, and on each side there are temples all the way along there, temples which have grown up since Srila Bhakti, from the original temple, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then the disciples making their temples in due course of time. And it was very beautiful, because that road doesn't go anywhere, it's not full of cars, honking and like that. Very sweet and very beautiful. Every temple, you could hear the bells ringing, you could hear Kiva Jaya, and it was very sweet. But still, I'm walking down there, and then I think, yes, but my home is Chaitanya Saraswati Math, and I looked, consciously I remember on that road, then I'm looking to see, and I could see the light on the top of our temple. When you know where it is, then down the way, the bridge is there to the right, and you look, there we could see our temple. So you could see our temple from Navadip also. And when there still is a big bell there, but it is now cracked, unfortunately. When we had a big bell on the top of the centenary building, Gurudev was very happy with that bell. You could hear that bell in Mayapur. And Gurudev was very happy with that. You could hear our arati in Mayapur. So anyway, that dome of the temple, then that dome, is the dome that Gurudev is referring to. And we went up there many times to change the flag, because Gurudev always liked the flag to be flying. And when the windy time, the flags, they get ruined, especially when they're basically cotton flags. In Vila Govinda, I was surprised how long they last, but it's some synthetic thing. Now, synthetic things can be very durable, but those cotton flags, they do wear out quickly. So we went many times for that, and the light. Gurudev wanted that light, and he wanted the flag. And one of Gurudev's, many things, but one of his very happy things was the devotees came back from Puri and brought from Puri one of those long, long flags that they have on the top of the Jagannath temple in Puri, very famous. Those are changed every single day. I didn't know that before. And then just near our temple there is a man, maybe he's a demigod, who knows, but he's one of that team who changes the flags. And then one day we got part of a flag. We got a whole flag, but not the very big one, but then came and got a whole flag, and I just thought, this is amazing. But then we find out they do change them every day, so there are 365 sets of flags.
Still not many.
But anyway, we were still very happy, and gave that flag to somebody. Anyway, that flag we got. Anyways, but a new flag came from Puri, this style, a very long flag. So, and Gurudev said, you put this on the top of the temple. So we went up on the top of the temple and put that flag. And Gurudev is so happy seeing this flag going from here to the corner. It's a long, those flags, they're long flags. But it lasted very short time, because up on the top of our temple there's a spiky lightning arrestor. And you have to have that. Whenever you go up there, Gurudev says, every time you go there, you must check that the wire is not corroded, that the connection is good for the wire. And it's a thick wire that goes all the way down the temple into the ground. And it's, so if any lightning, any static in the sky, it gets taken down that instead of going to the temple. And anyway, so there's some spiky things up there. And other spiky things are the mat logo. The mat logo, it's not the mat logo, actually it's the Sudarshan chakra, which is traditional in India. When you see a temple, who is in the temple? Then from outside, if there's a Sudarshan chakra, the chakra that Vishnu has for cutting off people's heads and love, sweetness, beauty. Yes. This Sudarshan chakra, this is a symbol of the Vishnu temples. And if it's a Shiva temple, then it's got the trident of Lord Shiva. So you've got the trident at the top. And there are other ways to tell different temples. So this was a tradition, but then Srila Guru Maharaj, on our temple, again, as the temple is going in, Srila Guru Maharaj, he said, yes, Vishnu temple, this is the tradition, but we will put the flute through the middle, because it's Krishna's temple. So yes, it's Vaishnava Vishnu temple, but it is Krishna temple. And Gurudev said, that's Guru Maharaj, he did this, and then others copied him. So you will see that in other places, but it's Guru Maharaj who also began that. So there are many beautiful things that we can learn and really from Gurudev understand, how things evolved and developed. And this diorama, Gurudev did not plan the diorama. He was testing the artist who was this is all three-dimensional, so it's made with plaster. And
it's bas relief, Maharaj.
Huh?
Bas relief, it's called bas relief.
It's called bas relief.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That it's slightly jutting out.
It's quite a bit, not just a little bit.
All right, so it's very lot, quite a lot then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Maharaj by Gurudev, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been a few times.
But first this was all blank. This was here. This says Chaitanya Saraswati Maharaj, founder, Acharya, disciple of, etc. And this is that verse that we just said of Srila Saraswati Thakur with the slight adjustment. And Gurudev, he brought one artist from Puri, Jagannath Puri. When we were in Jagannath Puri one time, there is a Ganapati guest house just down, it's called Ganapati guest house, just down the road. But they did have, now it's not there, but they did have a very nice Konark temple wheel. Konark temple is a sun temple, it's a famous temple. It's a little bit north of Jagannath Puri along the coast, and I've been there with Gurudev, we've gone there very happily. But it's got these wheels carved in stone, and the whole temple is a chariot. Was a chariot, you got.
It looks like a rush.
It's a chariot
Yeah.
with wheels.
Yeah, we shot it up the star,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you pay to go in, or did you jump over the wall at the back?
We just went and looked. We didn't actually go.
Oh, I
in.
didn't go in. No, you can see it
We
well without.
went and had a meal, actually, had a wandering around for a while. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, the meal is outside, not inside.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But we were there, we saw, we
Yeah.
had a look around.
But that wheel, it's a classic kind of image of
Right.
Orissa
Yeah.
and of the temple. Anyway, the Ganapati guest house just down the road, they had on the wall beside the entrance door, they had a diorama like this of the wheel. And so Gurudev saw that wheel and asked Purnananda Prabhu, who was looking after the temple in Puri, he said, you find the artist. So he saw the artwork and said, can you find the artist who made that? He will be good for Guru Maharaj's Samadhi. So this was the time when Guru Maharaj's Samadhi was being constructed and getting ready for the, you could say, decoration, ornamentation, like this, so that Guru Maharaj wants some decorations, dignified decoration of the temple. But you want to have a good artist, of course. You don't want something just, as Bhakti Lalita would say, cheesy, something very... well, Bhakti Lalita says it because Guru Maharaj used that expression, cheesy, something cheesy. Is very like a plastic imitation or something. It's cheesy. And so anyway, that artist came up. But then Gurudev said, but he wanted to test it. He said, so before I give him some duty on the temple, I want to see he can follow instruction and he can do the work. And so Gurudev told that Guru Maharaj had expressed that if Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Kirtan party is depicted in this empty, because this was empty space, he said if Srila Saraswati Thakur's Kirtan party is depicted there, that will be very good. And Gurudev said, Guru Maharaj expressed it, but it never happened. So this has been in my mind, so we'll have the artist do that. And so the first thing was, he made this row here, the Kirtan row. And then Gurudev, and every day, twice a day, at least twice a day, then I'd go to Gurudev, and then we had like a routine in the morning, a routine in the afternoon, of going around the temple, seeing what needs to be done, what has been done, and everything. And with the construction, the progress of the construction. And Gurudev would sit there. We had the little office, was downstairs, that little room on the left. And then he'd take the wooden chair out and put it there. And Gurudev would sit in the chair and look with his cane. And then he'd give instruction for the temple construction. He'd give instruction to Dinu Mistry, who was a boy, was a teenager, helping his father, who was the main, Mistry means constructor, builder. And his father was the main builder of the main temple. So this is back in the 50s, you can say, 50s, 60s time. So now he's grown up, and he, not only grown up, a little older, and now he is the Mistry, the builder for Guru Maharaj's temple after he disappeared. And a bit deaf, quite deaf, but not absolutely deaf. So Gurudev giving him instruction and showing him with his cane, and that time it is all just mud, or when it's not raining, it's not mud, it's earth. And so in the earth, Gurudev with his cane showing him, Dino Mistry, apni ki, bushte pachen, can you understand? Bushte pachen. And then, yes, our Bengali lady. But Gurudev very loudly and clearly talking with him. And then this way, that temple is evolving. And that temple had some adjustments to make also in the making of Guru Maharaj's temple. And one of the adjustments was that when you look at the front of the temple, not the canopy part, but the part of the temple which is raised up, then you look, the front part of that, it's got two arches on each side, and then the main arch where you look through with Guru Maharaj's deity there. And those two arches Gurudev made, but he looked again and again after some days and it's made, he said, but it is too high, it is too high. Why is it too high? And then again Gurudev is looking why something has come out too high. And he said, I gave Dinu this instruction, but he made like this. But why? And then Gurudev's thinking, there must be that space is for something. So who will be there? What should be there? And he said, Tulasi Devi, Brinda Devi, Tulasi Maharani. That she will be there. And so when you look now at the temple, there's lots of things you don't notice until somebody points out. And there in the top of each of those arches, you see a lady seated with a pot on her head and plant. But you look and see it's Tulsi Devi. It's a lady. So Gurudev always adjusting and seeing why something happens to them. So that temple. So that's how this came out. It was a test. And so first was the bottom line, which is, as Guru Maharaj had indicated, to have a kirtan party there. It's the Nat Mandir means dancing hall. So the Nat Mandir. And this is what is here, like we are here, but it's separate. There's temple, gap, and then the Nat Mandir in front. And then Gurudev is looking, and we're walking around every day, as I was saying, and looking, and then Gurudev looking up and saying, this is very empty. What will we put there in the empty space? And he said, oh, then here we are at Gupta Govardhan. Then we'll put Krishna, Radha Krishna, and Govardhan Hill. So first of all, Radha Krishna and his associate, Mahaprabhu's leader, Radha Krishna and his associate. Then he's saying, and we're at Gupta Govardhan. So it'll be Giridhari, who is holding Govardhan. And so then Giri is Radha, Krishna, the cowherd boys, the cowherd men, and the cowherd ladies also, helping Krishna to hold up the hill with the sticks. And then Govardhan Hill, and then on the top of the cherry on the cake, that's not a good expression, but anyway, there is Chaitanya Saraswat mat on the hill and showing the identity of the mat. And then one day, it was in the afternoon, walking around with Gurudev, and Gurudev standing here, and I'm just behind him here. And Gurudev like fixed, looking. And he said, look and see. Look what has come. This is not my intention, but this shloka in visual form has come from the shloka. And Gurudev, he was actually stunned. I mean, he said, this is not my plan. This is proof that the shlokas are living. They are alive. They have their own life. The verse itself has manifested this way through the inspiration, but through like another energy like this, if you like, whatever. We don't want to be too mystic about all this, but it has manifested through Gurudev in this visual form. And Gurudev was so happy, and he's told this everywhere to so many devotees about this. But I was right there when he was stunned, and he was stunned. It was like one of those. There are various things in Gurudev's life that we've witnessed to see how he's amazed at something, or his reaction, and things like this. So this is that diorama that he was referring to. And the devotees, there, he's got the chamara, someone's got a conch, and they've got the mridanga and kartals and wampas. Wampas. Yesterday we used the wampas. Gently we used the wampas in the evening time. And then that's the shloka. If you don't know the shloka, there it is. See the diorama. Now you can understand. We are in the section with our feet on the ground, but our aspiration to that higher land which we worship from our level, and that land of the affectionate shelter of Krishna, holding Govardhan Hill, the affectionate shelter of Govardhan Hill, which is holding. And this is Chaitanya Saraswat. Hare Krishna.
But Maharaj, in the Govardhan temple.
In the Govardhan temple?
Yeah, just same diorama or different? Slightly different.
There is no diorama. Oh, there is a diorama in the Govardhan temple.
Yeah.
But the diorama in the Govardhan temple, it is when you are inside the temple, and there the Nat Mandir and the temple is all one, like here, but scale it up a little bit, and bigger size. And there above the door of the temple part, so you're in the Nat Mandir, there along the top is a diorama, but that is of Krishna holding up the hill, and that diorama answered a very stupid question of mine. To myself, I didn't ask anybody, this is not a question I asked the Gurudev, thankfully. But I did ask him, we have some remnants of logic left. We're meant to be jnana shunya bhaktas. We're not meant to be analyzing how is it. But I used to think, Krishna, he's a young boy, I mean, it's always happened because he's a young, talkative boy, as Indra was saying. This young, talkative boy, he's convincing everybody, what about me, my worship, I've been worshipped all the time. So he's a young, talkative boy. And yet he's got all these other cowherd men, seniors all around him, who of course are much taller than a young boy. So how did Krishna go, and this is a Mahananda question, taking himself. So how did Krishna lift Govardhan Hill?
Needed to be a...
And everybody's with all these tall men, they're taking sticks to lift the hill. So how it doesn't compute,
No.
if you like, to your logical mind. And I wasn't disturbed by it, but then one day I'm sitting chanting japa, being a good boy, in the temple room, and I'm chanting japa, just quietly. Then I saw, oh, Krishna, he's standing on a big rock. He's standing on a big rock and holding up the hill. Then the cowherd men and the cowherd women, everybody, then they have to reach up to help hold the hill. So that diorama has Krishna on a big rock.
Standing on a big rock.
Here, no.
Not those. Yes.
But it's not good to try to think how these things. But that diorama, I mean, that wasn't really a big how, but when I saw that on a big rock,
Right.
Krishna, very clever. How did it? And about holding up Govardhan Hill, we were mentioning in Italy, right, about some magician. We saw some magician with Jagannath Swami Prabhu
Right.
in San Diego.
Yes.
And he's an enthusiast about everything. He's an enthusiastic devotee. And this devotee, he loves to look after devotees. It's like, if he's got devotees around him, he's in heaven. And really, he was so good. And anyway, he takes me, we're in San Diego town, seeing the highlights, which I need to see in San Diego. And he took me to the museum. One or two things, their satisfaction we're happily going. And we're in the walking street, the pedestrian area. And there were some good artists, playing the violin, and there are all sorts of things. It's the market street where anything goes, and you just go there. And there was this magician with just a table, and he got some outfit on, make a little bit of an attraction. But why we went over was because so many people were there. There are a few people everywhere, but lots of people were gathered. So as me and Jagannath Swami, so let's have a look. So we go, and there he is with very simple cups, just these plastic cups that you have, drinking cups, and just these cups on the table, and got people all around him, like lots of people, and he's doing magic, and just picking up a cup. 2 oranges, puts it down, picks it up immediately, and there's 1 ping pong ball, puts it down, something else. And he's doing this. And everybody knows it's illusion.
Right.
He didn't really, suddenly manifest 2 oranges or a ping pong ball. But he's surrounded by people, and we are looking at him, with our very suspicious mind. And I have to say, he was a good magician and a good entertainer.
Right.
And Jagannath Swami, he's a good person, and he did tip him nicely at the end. And other people did too. He probably made quite a good living.
Yeah.
He was a good person. But Gurudev told that when there are magicians in this world, and we know that they are doing sleight of hand somehow, and even everybody watching him, we couldn't figure it out. He was good. And anyway, Krishna, Gurudev said, he's the greatest magician. He can lift a whole mountain, and everything is his energy. He can spread illusion, he knows, but illusion in the spiritual sense, as well as illusion for us who have been averse to Krishna, but now we're not. This is a good point. We're in a gathering of those who are not averse to Krishna. We want to know him. Maybe we don't know him properly, but we do have some hope to know him. We don't want to be averse to him. If he will do anything and everything, oh, very good. We want to learn about him. So, Krishna, he is the greatest magician, and hence He can hold up the hill for 7 days continuously with everybody underneath.
He did have some help.
Oh yes, he got some help, but he didn't need any help. But still he allowed them to help him.
I heard also, Maharaj, he stopped gravity, and then it's easy to lift and hill.
Right. And Srila Prabhupada also, is it Srila Prabhupada or Srila Guru Maharaj? But saying that Krishna, he makes all the laws and the rules and gravity, and he can change all the laws. And one day in Vila Govinda, one morning in the week, Sunday mornings are always like very quiet, because even though we don't really notice the road, in the early morning, you can always hear the traffic on the main road. It's a little distance away, but you can hear it. But Sunday mornings it's very quiet, because everyone's not going to work. It's very quiet, notably. And then, once or twice in the week, on a regular weekday, like it's very quiet. And I remember thinking, oh, maybe Krishna overnight, he changed the properties of petrol. Now it won't go bang anymore. So now all the cars are stopped. And everyone's puzzled why they can't get their car to start. And then Krishna, he just changes the property of petrol. He can do that immediately. He can change anything at any time.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
We were reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita in Thailand, and we came to this section where it said, that Lord Shiva lost his gravity, and Krishna Priya was suddenly rolling around laughing. I didn't know what was going on. I was
She's
just
looking up in the dictionary.
reading it. He's lost his gravity. What, he started floating in the air. She said, no, it doesn't mean that, but she was very entertained.
Sober mentality.
Yes, exactly.
Right, for those who are not English, so used to English expressions, gravity can mean attraction from two objects, but gravity can also mean seriousness. What word did you use?
Sober mentality.
Yes.
Sober mentality, gravity, gambhira.
Gravitas. We call it gravitas.
Dhira.
Oh, yeah.
Gravitas.
Does it come from grave, a grave mentality?
It's linked somewhere on the way.
I don't know.
Do your homework.
But about gravity, this attraction,
Gravitas, yeah.
then Srila Guru Maharaj said that we all know about gravity in the sense of the attraction of objects, and that the planets are floating, they're kept there by gravity. Everything is floating by this. But when this attraction comes into the plane of consciousness, it is love and affection. What a beautiful expression. What is gravity in a conscious plane? It is love and affection. What is gravity in a mundane plane? It is physical drawing of the planets together. We are sitting down here because of gravity. And if we lose our gravity, we
We were actually, me and one of the Prabhus were walking down Grafton Street in Dublin one time, Keshav knows. So, but it's become very broad-minded with busking, playing music and everything, and whole groups. And one time there was a Shivite there, and he had complete dreadlocks and Shiva tilak, and all sorts of dhotis on and everything. He was floating on some little carpet and playing the like the snake charmer's flute and that, and he had a huge crowd around him. We were walking, me and Gina, we were walking all around and wonder how a mechanical device is using to float about 6 feet in the air. And there didn't seem to be anything underneath. There didn't seem to be any machine. And we couldn't figure out,
Very
like I
mysterious.
said, was skeptical, how is this happening? What way is this working?
Yeah.
You know, he was floating 6 feet in the air on a carpet, a little carpet around the carpet, you know. And he had a huge crowd around him, everyone was baffled, you know, he playing like the snake charmer's flute thing, that ball thing, you know, like that, it was amazing.
Well, I'm certainly suspicious that there was something there physically,
Yeah.
but Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, all, they say it is very easy to attract people with miracles. And they are indicating that people really could do miracles. I mean, I'm a little suspicious that an Indian man has come to Ireland and then he's going to do it. Anyway, that probably not a real miracle. But if somebody can do miracles, then like everybody comes to see them, supernatural power. But always the caution is to be able to do some miracle. It's not, doesn't mean they're God, or doesn't mean anything else. They've got some power from some pious activities or something from the past. And Srila Guru Maharaj, isn't it in the new book, is telling about how there was one sadhu and he was in a boat with a British dignitary. He was very famous and the dignitary gave him something very valuable. And that sadhu immediately threw it into the river in the boat. And the dignitary was like shocked. You know how valuable that is? And he said, you threw it in the water. Oh, don't worry. And he put his hand down into the water and he brought out two, the original and another one, the same, right there. And then the dignitary. So, but this is cited by Guru Maharaj. This is and other things cited by Srila Saraswati Thakur, Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada. And so there were, and we know a devotee, he had a power, a special power. And Gurudev, how we know it, anyone can say anything, but Gurudev said he has that power. And then later, some years later, I kind of just passed by this to Gurudev. And then, we should ask this devotee because he's got the power. And Gurudev said, he had the power. Now everyone's power is being lost because of the general influence of Kali Yuga. He wasn't pointing a finger at that particular devotee that, he's Kali Yuga, but we're living in that influence of Kali Yuga where the very subtle powers, they're covered over with the grossness of the sin of the world. And the sin of the world is very heavy. Anything that is not Krishna-centered is sin. We're not talking about robbing banks and doing all sorts of things. Obviously it's sin. But anything which is not Krishna-centered is sin. So therefore you can see what weight, what burden there is in the world.
Can I ask, was he Indian?
What?
This devotee you speaking about, was he Indian?
Yes,
from
India.
India?
Yeah. And we know him, and we know him. And not only know him, we know him well. And Gurudev, but certified by Gurudev, this is the point. And there are so many places, when you go also on pilgrimage, and so many places which people say, this happened here, this happened here, this happened here. Really we have to have everything checked. And what we know is right, that we can say. There are so many places we don't take devotees, it's question mark, did it happen here or not? And on our calendar, we don't have some dates, this date's not on our calendar, it's in their calendar. And Gurudev explained that this is happening from, our calendar hopefully is trying to stay the same as at the time of Gurudev. Gurudev said, it's not sure what that date was. Therefore, Guru Maharaj did not put that as a specific date in the calendar. So, Guru Maharaj's line is very much reality and not guessing or something. And there are some places which are pilgrimage places which are positively not what are claimed. And Gurudev has explained how it came to be that that place became known as. For instance, maybe I shouldn't name things that are on the camera. Okay. But there are some places which are like positively not what they claim to be. So we want to go to where positively we know we're not making up stories or imagination. And so again, under the guidance of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Guru Maharaj always said, I strictly follow what my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave. And we all know Guru is strictly following what Guru Maharaj gave. And this we want to also follow, why we will try to do something else. And so when we see something different, sometimes we make a squeak if the devotees can think that they can accept, and sometimes we keep quiet because, who are we to say anything? But we're not really saying anything when we know, when we've heard it from Gurudev. And sometimes it's a little sad when we know, we've explained from what Gurudev said and devotees ignore it. They would think that why, what are we doing? Why we should do our own separate thing? We should try to do everything as cleanly as possible. Somewhere in the world, we must have some place where we can have a clean, sweet Chaitanya Saraswatma, and that should continue forever. Maybe in small thread, but that also small thread, it is important to maintain. So anyway, those of you online, sorry you missed the early part. Oh, it's not online anyway.
Yes, the blue light is on. I can see
Okay.
it.
You missed the early part, which is the main part, which is Srila Gurudev. We're listening to him, to Srila Gurudev. We heard he was speaking, so we went upstairs and heard Gurudev. And maybe now he'll send us down to the Nat Mandir. Now go down to the temple and join the program. But what's left of the program is Hari Harai Nama Krishna. Hare Krishna. Ramdas Prabhu, would you like to sing Hari Harai Nama Krishna for us?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Very good. Delighted.
Delighted.
And that's what we like to hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
50 is it? Or
60 is it?
We came on British Airways, and we should not misuse words.
Right.
And honestly, we are delighted to have you on board. Come on. then words lose their thing. Just like this America. Just like this thing. Oh, sorry, America. What's the word?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome used to be such a special word for something.
Like
which
standing
created
before
awe.
Gurudev.
Now
or
awesome.
something,
Oh,
yeah.
The super happy was super happy. Super happy.
Super happy.
You know.
Awesome. Oh, you're saying
No,
super.
no, there's another one as well. We're super happy.
Oh, we're super happy. Oh, okay. This is why we need, as it is, chamatkara.
Yeah.
Why we need prema. Why we
Yes.
need to always refer to our Bengali original, because there's no translation for chamatkara.
Right.
Now they've ruined awesome. Well, what have we got left? We've got chamatkara.
Uber. We got Uber.
Oh yeah, Uber.
Uber happy. We're really Uber.
Oh, Uber happy. Oh, got Uber cars. No? Anyway, let's get to Hari Haraya Nama Krishna. And today we heard about Hari Haraya Nama
Yes,
Krishna.
we did.
And when you go to another temple and you hear them singing a little differently, that's fine. But
Yes.
we have our family, and this is how we sing
Aye.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna.
Mm.
Ramdas, great responsibility on your shoulders.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Krishna Moy Prabhu, you're leaving this afternoon.
This afternoon about 2ish, yeah.
We've heard you sing. Have we heard you lead anything yet? Would you like to lead Prabhu Kohe Kohelan E Mahamantra? Very short, very sweet. And it starts with Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, which is on the wall, and we all know it. Okay? And then Prabhu Kohe Kohelan E Mahamantra.
281.
Thank you.
Do you know Maharaj? No. He doesn't know the song, Maharaj.
Well, it's actually the same. You can do the same as Hari Haraya Nama Krishna. So Prabhu Kohe Kohelan E Mahamantra. This way you can do.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya. That's this one, is it?
Yes, the top. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, and then Prabhu Kohe Kohelan. Yes, and we'll help you along, don't worry, if needed.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Sakrita Shishi Guru Gauranga Sunda Giri Raj Radha Giri Hari Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Par Srila Gurudev Srila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Par Srila Guru Maharaj Srila Bhakti Rapa Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Par Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Banga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Vishwaranya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Navadip Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat London Ki Jai. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Hari Nama Sankirtan Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Ramchara Srimad Bhagavatam Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Jai Hari Nama Sankirtan Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.